Hello, everybody. Why is this upcoming? All right, we should be up and running. Yep. Let's let people know. Hope everyone's all right. Today we're going to cover gold, CL, and Q again. We're going to look at the MaxAlgo Lite. Talk a bit about that. But we're looking bearish today, as you can see so far on gold. Algos are bearish. Apologies, I haven't got the camera on. Let's go to property. And I'm upside. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's go. So a couple of scalp trades we could have had already this morning. I'll have to be patient, wait for the ones to come along. Whoop whoop. Hope everyone's alright. Had a good day yesterday. That CL trade went and went and went and went. Alright. So let's stop with our top-down analysis. We've got 2 hours left of the 4 hour. We've got a new 2 hour candle coming. Let's just look at our 4 hour candles, right? Yellow lines represent the open of the previous and current 4 hour candle. So you can see here, taken the low and had a large wick. So this is a 4 hour candle here, and it closed right back up at the open. And then now this is our new 4 hour. So we've come down. We are well into the 4 hour, we're halfway through. So we are expecting this to be a bearish 4 hour candle. If we look at our 4 hour stats. So again, we broke our 4 hour candle into 8 segments, each half an hour. Right, we can see if we're bearish. This is where our high is in the first 30 minutes. 44% probability of it being there. And then when we've taken this low, which was at 22, so I mean we've only got a low in segment 3. Here, so there's a 10% probability of that being our low for the 4 hour candle. For the last 49 bearish candles, we can go up time frame and have a look at a little bit more on this. So there we go. So we've got 204 bearish candles, 4 hour candles specifically. We can see 50% probability of our high being in the first half an hour. And then there's only an 8.8% probability of that's our low, right? So if we're going to have a bearish 4 hour candle, there is a lot of confluence to say we can expect more lows. So we're expecting gold to carry on down for the next 2 hours. We've got this liquidity below, 71% probability, and we've built up a few levels above as well that are quite high. Dynamic TP has been bullish, transition bearish, and then we're currently transitioning back to bearish, so a bit choppy. Higher time frame is bearish on the 1 hour and the 2 hour. Current 1 hour algo is strong bearish. 2 hour is strong bearish. So we can already see that they are closing bearish anyway. This is the 2 hour, this is the current 1 hour. So we can see there's 11 minutes left for both the 1 and 2. So likely to close bearish. And there's an 87% probability the 4 hour, which is what we're in now, will close bearish as well. Everything's looking red. See if we can't steal a trade. Yo! So gold, we're looking at bearish. Let's look at some of these levels. So these are the alpha boxes that we've introduced as new concept by MaxAlgo. We have got a free live version that you can get access to. Here is some of the indicators you get. So you've got your liquidity levels, you've got your hourly stats, letting you know where the likelihood is, where your bullish highs and bullish lows. So we can see here over the 219 bullish candles on NQ, there is a 57% probability that you are going to get your low in the first 10 minutes. So again, just giving you that edge. So you can get this for free. All you've got to do is just jump on what, it's in the description actually of the video. There's a link to it there. And if we look at, you'll come to here and then just hit join and you'll see the free version. And you'll be able to get access to that. Let me just refresh it actually. I'll show you. Oh, okay, so the light option, is it a different link to?
Light? Yeah, it's a different one.
All right, okay.
So you go to the top one. To my ones. It's just MaxAlgo light.
I'll have to change the link in the description.
No, it's light, just light, no hyphen.
Like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe you've missed the G off.
Oh.
Hello. Keep going.
And then it's free to join. And this will give you access to the liquidity, dynamic TP, the hourly stats, and these support and resistance boxes, which is a new concept that we've introduced. They are completely mechanical, so you don't have to worry about where to place them. And the system on how to trade them as well. There'll be a full course inside of there as well. Did you pop it in the Discord that this is live? Yeah.
Doing it right this minute.
Thanks, bud. So let's check out NQ. I'm going to do it on the, this is the premium indicator. So very similar. 4 hour has come straight back up. We are bullish on the 1 hour though, and we're above dynamic TP. Looks like it's going to change. Trend AIs, transition bullish. We've got an 87 and 81% probability above. Do have a high chance of this low going though. If we can see dynamic TP and the MACD come above, maybe next hour, then maybe we can see some bullish action. Right now though, we are tending more towards a choppy 4 hour. Check out CL. That's a nice move down from CL. Okay, look, I mean, this has been great. Nice bearish 4 hour. We come back up just in the last hour and then continue back on down. These would have been some great trades. So here, if you look where we get this sell signal, right, we come below, we've got this resistance level that's now being created. Right, we tap back up, dynamic TP goes red, we go under, and then we come down to the next resistance level. A nice rejection from there, liquidity taken, and we carry on down. Here in this hour, this box gives us a 74% probability of the low going and a high probability of a bearish hour. The statistics on that are about 63% for a bearish hour. And if the low's not gone, there's a 74% probability of the low. So this is a nice tap back up, close to the 50%, and then back down. So we've had quite a long move down on CL, and obviously we're continuing to go. I think obviously we'll have to wait for some more structure in the next hour if we're going to try and take a trade on there. So NQ we are just transitioned, we are above. So if dynamic TP comes below now, we can look at a potential short. Keeping it really simple though, if we want to use support and resistance for our entry, right, we can keep it really, really simple. And when we are blue or bullish, we are looking to buy out of support and sell at resistance. We get TPs. And when we are red, we're looking to sell into when we're in resistance. Right? Keep it really simple. Buy support, sell resistance. Now ideally, if we want to take that a little bit further, we also want the dynamic TP to be below the 0 line for our bearish moves. Right, so where we get this bullish change, because we're below the 0, ideally we want to be waiting for, these are our signals, right? We're below, and we can see that support level, that resistance level holds, and price moves down. Keep it really simple. Let's see if we get a reaction from here. What happens with dynamic TP on NQ? But right now, gold is more bearish for me than NQ. You can see dynamic TP has gone back bearish. We are under the 0 line compared to NQ. So morning, Peter. How are you? Ah, right. Friday, last day of the week. Hope you've had a good week trading. I think it's been pretty good. Been a pretty solid week. So we can see on the algos, right, how much all the higher time frames are bearish on gold. Yeah. Weekend starts. Right, let's look at some higher time frame levels. So we're inside 4 hour. You can see how we've nicely moved between these 4 hour levels. From here, back up, back into this 4 hour level, reject, we've come back down again. So if we're going to lose this level, obviously we've got this liquidity below. I need to see where potentially we could go next. Let's make this bigger, focus on these levels. Right. So all we've done on this 4 hour is just show like strength in this area where that level's had multiple. The darker it gets, the more levels are being created around it, like here. Let's check out the daily. Okay, so we got a daily level here. This is our current daily. Yellow represents the current time frame. So this is our current daily level. And these previous dailies. So I quite like this level here as a potential rejection. So let's put that on the chart. It's going to make this one yellow. So then it's the daily. So our current weekly. There's the next weekly level. Okay. Right. So we've got a new 1 hour being created. We know we're inside this 4 hour box. We've got liquidity below, and here's our daily that we could come down to. Right, let's get back on it. Nice bearish hour. Put this back to the hourly. I want to see this hour forming. So here's an hourly level just below our daily. So you should be able to just see this yellow box here now. This is our new hourly. So if we're going to go bearish, we can see obviously where we've rejected here, 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 and we create a new hourly. So we could look for a tap and a potential trade out of it, or we might just head straight down now. Yeah, absolutely. So there's going to be, I'm just going to be doing a course that will be uploaded in WAP as well for MaxAlgo Lite on how best to use it. We've got a couple additional features that we're going to be building out into it as well, that you can use. So keeping it fairly simple, obviously I've just covered the boxes. If you were listening along then, I was going through. So when you're on the light one, you're looking at the hourlies. So you can see these are the hourlies that I've got on now. So when a new hour starts, the reason why it's highlighted because it becomes even more important. So if we're going to have a bearish hour, then we expect that level to hold and it can act as an area to reject and sell from, right? So you've got key things for taking a trade. When you are below the zero line on dynamic TP, then your strongest trades are going to be your shorts. As you can see here, when we go blue, we fail to go anything. So taking that long out of support there is not a great idea. However, when we go red again, and you can see we start rejecting, then potentially could have taken a short. Now it's quite tight between those levels. That's the only thing I'd say. So ideally when we're below, we want to be using, looking for shorts, looking for rejections from resistance. And unless we get a nice strong continued bullish movement, right? But like here, when we're coming up like this, we can see we tap back into that level, which would have been that hour. And then you can see the histogram gives you a strong one. So you could have gone long at that point there, stop below. There's 1R there anyway, or up to the resistance, which we do hit, right? So we come back up into that box now. And we're getting a nice rejection. Yeah, increase the mic volume. This is something that we're currently trying to do. Let's turn the music off. Is that mic?
Let me do it and then you.
Right, is that better? Yeah, we're having issues with OBS just on this computer. It's fine when we use other stuff. Anyway, let's focus on this potential trade for a second. Yeah, we'll continue to build out MaxAlgo Lite. So what you've got on Lite is your hourly stats, right? One of the things that we're going to get added in is the hourly levels, just so you can see each hour starting. So we're waiting now. So nice rejection. So on here, you've got your dynamic TP, right? You can go into the settings and just turn on histogram if you want. This is good for obviously like when you get a pullback, if you're inside of a resistance, say like here, right? When the histogram goes dark again, we can expect that that correction's over, and then potentially you can look to get in and take your trade, right? Same thing there. Then we move down. So here where we've got this correction, we can obviously look for rejections for price action, or we can wait to see if we get some more to it. Now in an hour, segment 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6, don't know why it took so long to say them all. That was really odd. Is basically we're taking an hour and breaking it up into 6. So it just means you've got 10-minute segments, right? So every 10 minutes, segment 1's the first 10. So we can see on a bullish, we're looking at bearish. So on a bearish hour, we can see within the first 10 minutes, there's a 55% probability of putting in your high for a bearish hour. And then segment 2, which is the next 20 minutes, there's a 17%. So within the first 20 minutes, you can see that we end up over 70%. So when we have a bearish candle, over 70% of the highs, or the high of that bearish candle, is in the first 20 minutes. So right now we are on 7 minutes, right? So we still haven't finished segment 1. So it's still time for it to put in its high. We're really close to this support level though, right? I don't like the fact that we're sort of down into it and we're tucked up against it. We've already had this move down, but we'll see what we can do, right? So you can add other indicators on that we've given. So you've got like enhanced RSI, right? You can use this. One, which is just right now, you can see it's right in the middle. It's not giving us anything really strong on better moves on that one. So the dynamic reason why it's dynamic is this level here is based on the last so I've had it to 100 candles. So it's going back the last 100 candles and getting the average range, right? And that's giving you that average range. Right now we've come above the average line. So you can add other things on to help give you confidence, but right now, keeping it as simple as this, right? When we are bullish, we are looking to hold support levels, right? And when we are bearish, we are looking to sell at resistance, like here. So we've not been able to close above. Some nice rejections. We've got liquidity below. We've got a 71% probability of that low going. You can see that low is there as well, on that green line. Got your liquidity levels as well. So let's say we follow that. We're going to put our stop above. We can do 1R, or we can go for that liquidity level, or we can look to take it down if we think it's going to break through, come down to our next level. We're inside this level at the moment, which is, but we've rejected here, 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 and now we are looking against it. I would expect for us to at least take this low before we see a reversal. This is our daily level. So we've had quite a long move down for dynamic TP. So we're going to be doing educational videos every week, which these will be our live trading. So on YouTube, we'll do our live trading, and then in the Discord, privately, we're going to do an educational session every week, which is free for everybody, which is just coming on, back testing, going through the different settings, the systems, pure support, where you can come on, ask any questions you want to ask. And then every day we'll be coming on where we can, should be every day mostly. We'll be coming on and live trading like we are this morning. At some point we'll get to be able to do in New York as well, but right now we are just doing London. And I will get a trade account set up in TradingView so you can see the trades. We've had a great reaction though from that trade, right? You can see how that level's worked really well for this hour. We've come back up, we've rejected. Yeah, had nice confirmation, tap back in, took the trade, and we're now looking to come down and take that low. We love 1R on MaxAlgo, so if you're going for your 1R, great. get your TP, get your profit, get out. 1 hour done. And if you're looking for that liquidity level, that's fine as well. What I would say now, you've got your 1 hour. We could be taking this to break even. Or at least take some partials, break even, and then maybe we can let it run down to this level, or at least our liquidity. Most of the sessions will be a lot around this. There are so many little intricacies to the dynamic TP and the MACD that we're going to be going through and doing the education on, really. I think that's a huge part. And we're also going to be adding in some statistics as well, so that you can look at these statistics that we use to help give you confidence in taking trades as well. So one of the ones we're going to be looking for now, it's 9.13, right? So we haven't taken the low yet. We've got our high. So right now, if we take that low, that gives us even more statistical probability that this is our high for a bearish hour. The algo's telling us that we've got good probability, 73% probability of a bearish hour, a bearish 2 hour, and a bearish 4 hour. Where we can already see the 4 hour is very bearish. So there's a couple of statistics that we use. Key ones. You've obviously got the hourly stats in light. A couple of other ones that we use is these boxes. You can see here it's red, and what that means is that there's, when you get a red box, there's a 74% probability of the low going in the hour, and it adds about 63% probability for a bearish hour as well. So nice little confluence. Another one we like to use is, you can see the orange lines represent a new hour. Okay. So there's the low of the previous hourly candle. You can see we took that low, which represents this here, took low. When we take the low of a previous candle, it increases the probability that that hour, that candle, is going to be bearish by about 70%. So it's a decent figure. On some ones it's up. So this is adding more confluence to this hour being bearish. We've already taken the low. We've tapped back in. We really want to see this low go now. That gives us even more probability of the low going. And if we look at our stats on a bearish hour, sorry, a bearish low, you can see within the last 20 minutes of an hour, there's a high probability of our low coming in the last half an hour and in the last 20 minutes. So right now, we're expecting a bearish hour for gold, and we're only in the 15 minutes. So there is tons and tons and tons of data towards the low being later on in the hour. But we want to see more confirmation for that. We want to see this low go in, meaning we've got a high statistical high in the right place. And then we can see this potentially run down to our daily and our previous hourly levels. But we have come quite a far way down. So I am expecting some sort of correction at some point, which is why I was pushing more for the 1 hour around here. Which if you took, that was great. Let's see if we can push down to that liquidity. You can see that same level on light. This is a 5-minute liquidity that I'm using. There's the liquidity tapped. There's TP on that trade. You can see how simple that was, right? All using the light system. Yes, obviously I've got extra confluences here with the premium. However, the same trade was exactly the same on light. We come up into our current hourly box. This becomes high resistance, right? For the hour. Support or resistance. So we can come up, we reject, What did we wait for? We waited for confirmation. Histogram went dark red. We took the trade as it came back in. We could have taken one heart, and we had a high probability liquidity level, which we then took. You could have took your partials there, right? And then potentially we're seeing price could move down here. So we've got a 4-hour candle. So the yellow mark, the yellow horizontal lines represent 4 hour. So there's a 4-hour candle. And here's another 4-hour candle. And you can see how that's the bearish movement of the 4-hour, right? So we're putting in our low now. So we've got another hour and 41 minutes on gold on the 4-hour. Cheers, Aaron. How you doing, buddy? You had a good day yesterday. Smashed it on the trade on live. So we're closing below. This is a good sign that we could see that continuation. You can see here we had a very strong move. So closing down here, I think kind of we could see price come down quite fast to this level. How is everybody today? A limit order at CL. Nice. I see. I thought I was looking at gold. They've been very similar today, haven't they? Nice tap off the box. We see how NQ's holding it bullish, right? This current hour, holding it bullish. And we're coming above that 0 line. Algo is saying that we could have a bullish hour. Hold that level, and we push on through. Boosh. There's a buy signal for NQ. Let's hope this continues on down for you, buddy. Dynamic TP is now changing as well. MACD's coming above. Remember, if you were on with me in the morning when we first came on, I said about trend AI's changed bullish here. So you can see how we've gone bullish, giving us an indication that NQ is probably staying a little bit stronger. And there on this hour, we get that flip and that nice push out of that support box that was created. That would have been a great trade. Obviously, it hadn't quite changed yet in the color, so maybe we can get a tap in as we go along. The difference with gold, we remain bearish, right? You can see dynamic TP is red. Sorry, trend AI is red, giving us higher time frame bearish. We're under the 0 line. Very bearish. So yeah, so you can see the difference in our outcome. The algos were every single algo, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour, all predicting bearish. There's our sell signal. There's our initial 20 minutes is up now. So we have high probability of this being our high for the hour. And we continue on down. So we can expect price. Let's see how we react from these levels. Like we said, it was a quick movement down from here to here previously. So I'm sure we can expect price to come right down. However, if you're still in the trade, nice. We're going to be doing this every day. And we're going to be working on the light version, adding more to it. But the same trades there. See this big movement up? So let's just have a look at some of the higher time frame. Let's go to the 4 hour. Just going to add on the 4 hour. We haven't got any. So there's our 4 hour open. Because it's on CFD, that just have a little difference between that and CFD. There we go. So these work on all time frames, right? So if I wanted to, let me just hide some of the stuff for you on light. So on the alpha boxes, obviously you get them on the hourly, but they work on all time frames in being able to go up to the daily levels, right? And we can see our daily levels, and we can go up to weekly. Oh, you didn't get filled on gold. And these are all mechanical for you. You can see how that daily level, how it's reacted for price. Then we get a new daily level, or a new 4 hour that one is. Price reacting from it. And because it's completely mechanical, it just makes it nice that there isn't any question about where your support levels are and my support levels or anyone else. We've all got the same. We've all got the same. There's too many boxes, that. I like to try and keep it to sort of 8. It depends how aggressive price is moving. But I am looking for that existing current box, right? Like we saw on that trade. So when a new hour opens, like this one would have opened here, we can see how important that level is as price opens, and then how we hold it, right? Okay, so we can see the MACD is crossing, getting us this little bit of a pullback. Right now, this is our high. So let's just talk about hourly data, because this is one of the ones that you've got, right? Let's talk about hourly data. Okay. Here's the start of our hour. That's a little bit aggressive. Here's the end of our hour. Each 10-minute is one of our segments, right? So we've had our high on our bearish high. So 59% probability this is our high in this segment. If this is going to get taken, we're currently in segment 3. So there's a 9% probability of having a bearish candle and the high being in this time period. 6%, 5% and 0.5. So you can see how this becomes highly likely that this is now our high for the hour. Doesn't mean it has to, it's not 100%, but it's very likely for this next hour, if we're going to be bearish, that this remains our hour. Well, what about if we flip bullish? Okay, well that means that this would be the low, right? And you can see here there's a 10% probability that that is the low for a bullish hour. Another 1 RSCL. Nice.
Yes.
One on Aaron. Beautiful trade out the box. We had a bearish 20 minutes, expecting that this low was going to go. We come back in. High probability for this low to go, and we continue on down. Nice trade. Nice trade. See you later, NQ. Coming over the 0 line. This is nice. So we've got a bit of clumping. We've got these high probability levels here, 87, 81 for NQ. The only thing I would say is this is the current 4-hour high. And you can see that we've been taking lows until we got to here, which is a previous level, as you can see. And we've got an hour and 31 minutes. The algo is giving a high probability bullish 4-hour, so we could see the high go. Is our 4-hour box. That's our current 4-hour. So we want to see that flip, test back again, and then maybe we could look to get in a trade and take these liquidity levels above. But we are coming into this 4-hour level. Again, if you want the free version, the link will be in the description of this video, or you can go to WAP, and it's MaxAlgo Lite for the URL. I'll just show you. So if you go to MaxAlgo Lite, WAP/discover/MaxAlgo Lite, or wait until this video is finished, and I'll stick it in the description. Actually, I can stick it in the comments now. Let me get the link and I'll stick it in the comments. There you go. That's for the free version. Nice rejection out of the 4-hour. So I still think gold's going to come down further. As we said, this is not we're going to have a bearish hour. It's not how high probability a bearish hour forms. So that trade could have had 3R out of it, and as we go, we do hit that daily level. We're looking at 3.8R, and I think the hourly was a little bit further down there, about 5R, wasn't it? Let's have a look. Yeah, that hourly level was here as well. We were going obviously for liquidity, just a nice 1.6R, even just the 1R. But you could have taken partials and let it run. Looking for here at 3.8, or pushing it a little bit further for 4R. Oh. Beep, 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 beep. That was a nice quick trade to get on this morning. Oh, hang on. Apologies, you're still just staring at that and not staring at me charts. Yeah, just noticed. I've just been chatting away. Starting to think about my next trade now. Where I fancy. Here comes our daily level. Oh, just miss it. So that was a strong reaction off of our 4-hour levels. Remember we were talking about how this is a 4-hour candle, right? There you go, it's updated. So you can see here, this is our current 4-hour. And the current box is very, very strong. You can see the rejections from this one here. Plus we've got our previous 4-hour as well. And the previous 4-hour. So it's all aligned in this area. So I think for today on NQ, this is going to be interesting. If we're going to go bullish, I think that's going to be an area to flip, right? So we want to see that area flip and hold if we're going to go bullish. Till that point, we want to keep an eye on that. CL and, wow, look at that. What a trade, Aaron. Tap back into the hourly box. And off it goes. Nice bearish transition as well. Great trade. Everything's bearish, we can see, right? Everything's bearish. And this is what we want to see. Don't worry about these ones too much. Just testing a bit of a moving average. So if we look in the settings here, I want that. Actually wanted that to be tighter. So 9. But the main ones that we're looking for here were below. We've taken the previous hours. Dynamic TP's bearish. It's below the 0 line. Bearish, bearish, bearish. We've had a sell signal. Boxes are bearish. All these confluences will get added in to here so that we can see them all in one place. Yeah. I totally agree, Aaron. I think kind of, it's all well, it's great seeing trades run. That's why I don't mind like a high partial, right? 85% of the trade off. Stop to goes break even. If it plays out, it plays out. But you've got most of your profit. I prefer to do that than hang on to trades for ages, and especially with prop firms. I think it's better to take your profit, come on and consistently do that, than it is to hold trades and let them come back on you. So I agree. 1-hour trades are a fantastic way to trade prop firms. You can do a lot. So we've got a bullish hour, right? Which will be interesting. So we're rejecting here on the 4 hour. So we've got counter. So we've got like a bearish 4 hour, but a current potential bullish 1 hour. We'll see what happens here. We've transitioned. We're back inside that hourly box. Right, so if I put this back to hourly, look at that rejection. And these levels, these boxes, are a complete new concept that we came up at MaxAlgo. So they are only exist within MaxAlgo. So remember, if this hour's going to go bearish, what would we want to see? We want to see price reject under that level, come back, dynamic TP come under, and for us to then take a short. Good morning. Morning. What a day. Do you know what? I'm so happy to have been able to be on the charts most days this week in the morning. I have missed it so much. I do love trading. So we can see we're failing to come under, but we just want to see that continue, right? So we've held that hourly, so we've come up, rejected from the 4 hour. If I make the 4 hour clearer, let me just draw it on. So this is the 4 hour. This is the 1 hour. So we got a 4 hour candle, which has been bearish, right? We're taking the lows. And then our 1 hour is trying to go bullish. Obviously holding the 1 hour level, rejecting from the 4 hour level. We're just playing a little bit of ping pong. We've got another hour and 19 minutes left of the 4 hour candle. Yee. Let's look at gold. We were hoping that would come down faster, right? Because when we moved up with volatility here. So we'd hope we'd kind of come back down through that level. We can still dribble down there though. Starting to see us holding, right? Putting in some divergences. I still think we can still come down a little. We're away from that zero line. We're still bearish on dynamic TP. We still dribble down. Gets harder when you've had longer moves like this. But on gold, all of the algos, every one of them was bearish. All the higher time frames, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour. And also with the higher time frame as well, right? Higher time frame bearish, higher time frame bearish. Bearish. And my Trump dance. This is a previous daily level. When we were setting out the gold trade, we were saying this is one of the areas we've got our liquidity level, and then we've also got potentially we took partials, could have taken partials and traded it down to here, and there's the previous hour. So this is where kind of we could have got in on. Could have gone again here with this rejection. Personally, I think it moved too fast. You'd have been doing it on price action. Hey, there's our level hit. So GG if you held. Let's see how price reacts from there. Fairly strong reaction. Again, for anyone who wants the free light version, I'll be putting the course together today, going through some statistics, the hourly stats, some other stats as well that you can use. That'll get uploaded in the WAP. I've put the link in the chat so you can get it. This will give you access to the hourly boxes, the same ones that we've just used to take those trades. The CL trade was just taken out of the hourly box. Same thing, right? And then you've got your hourly stats as well as a few more things. And we're continuing to add, I've got some more coding to do today to add a few more things into it. I'm going to be adding in the hourly segments so that you can see the hourly times. How's NQ doing? Another nice reaction, just ping ponging, right? We got our 4-hour level, our current hour. So react back to the 4-hour, back to the current hour, ping ponging. We're expecting this hour to be bullish, therefore we expect this level to hold. Before we expect it to go more bearish, we expect this level to go. Potentially a reaction off here, tap back in if we were going to do that. That potentially could be a trade for us. Otherwise, we're holding this nicely. And you can see we're just ping-ponging between the 4 and the 1. Look at that reaction off of that daily level that we went through this morning. Beautiful. Kinda not sure where I'm gonna go. NQ's got that 4-hour issue, right? So we got our 4-hour candle, which is bearish. In fact, let's have a look at the candles. Beep, beep, beep. Nice strong wick. Closes that doji. Here's a 1 hour. So we've inversed, closed above that inversed fair value gap. Then we've also got a fair value gap inside there as well, which we are inside. There's our 4-hour level. You can see that where we're rejecting from. So we've got an open VIB here. In a strong move down. Maybe we can see a pull back up. Obviously gold close. We're going to carry on bearish, possibly close below this wick. I mean, that is when you've got a rejection like this on the 4 hour and then price pushes through like it has, nice and strong. And we've had our transition. I think we can continue to look for shorts in gold. We maybe see these levels reverse, right? We come and take it, we tap back up, get a new hour, and we can continue on down. We have got this liquidity level below, which is all the way from back here. So maybe that's we can look to see if that low goes. It's a bearish candle. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to say about those candles other than they're bearish. We've just come straight down. Okay, I think that's enough on the candle formations. CL's left this bunch of liquidity above, as well as obviously we can see it's a bunch of resistance levels. I don't know. Can we see that today? Can we see New York open and take us through some of those levels? I mean, you can see here, this is the 50, so maybe just like these two, the 80, 90. Possibly. We'd need to see a lot change for that, right? So we'd want to see dynamic TP come back above. So we're not even going to talk about that really. Let's forget it. So for NQ, ping pong between our levels, right? It's our 4 hour level, a 1 hour level. Ping, ping, 1 hour's bullish. Look at the algo. One hour's bullish. They're all corrective, which means we could see this 4 hour. It's not forming the way that it should, right? The way we do our candle formation, right? So we have our candle. Oh. Let's make it a bearish one. So right. So we have our bearish candle, right? So we know from our data the way that a 4 hour candle forms, that if it's going to be bearish, it's more likely to form within this area. So let's just bring that data up. Okay, so if this is a 4 hour candle, here is the beginning of the 4 hour, there is the end of the 4 hour. We're looking at it broken into 8 segments, so half an hour segments. And we can see if we're looking at the bearish side, that we can see our high, so bearish highs, that within the first half an hour, there's a 52% probability of the last 55 bearish 4 hour candles that we're going to see our high here. And we can see the low of the bearish candles in the last hour has over sort of 55%, right? So where was our low? Our low was 406. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's our low, so 72%. Now, what if we flip bullish, and this is a bullish 4 hour candle? This would mean our low is in same segment, segment 5. So it would be bullish. And you can see there's an 8% probability of that being our low with a bullish candle, right? So it's not, what's more probable right now is this is a bearish candle, this is our high, right? That's more likely from a statistic point of view. Doesn't mean it has to, it's just more likely. So if we have mixed signals with some of the data, and this is one of the issues, right? Where we're more choppy, we've got some probabilities with us, some probabilities against us. However, the formation of a candle, which is what we're talking about here, it's more likely from a bearish candle point of view, this is a bearish candle in the way that they form, right? Than a bullish candle. Same thing here, right? Bearish 4 hour is our high within those first high probability segments. We put in our low in segment 5 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. Which is 14% probability of out. So most of the data's happened by that point. So you can see why that formed nicely like a bearish candle. And this one right now, we've just got so many different mixed signals. We've got a bullish hour here. So we're expecting this to be our low for the hour in the way that the hourly candle's formed. But we're not expecting potentially this high to go in this 4 hour. And this will all be in the course, talking about like formation of candles and probabilities around it that we'll put in the free course. No worries, bud. Have a great weekend, Peter. Congrats on your week. Look forward to seeing you next week. What am I doing? Wrong one. So we've still got an hour left for our 4 hour candle, right? So what do we expect? Our 2 hour has got another hour left. This is our 2 hour. So our 2 hour... Yeah, let's see. So even, there's just a lot of mixed signals. But right now, we are more leaning towards the bearish side, right? We're under the zero line. We've just crossed again under the zero line. We've got a high probability liquidity here, 94%. So let's see. But we want to see this hourly flip, right? So if this hour is going to go bearish, we want to take that level and then maybe we can look at tapping back up. But that's why we've not been looking for longs with the formation. Even though the hourly was, we were opposing. We didn't have everything aligned. Let's see how it reacts again. We want to break that level. Maybe we could just tap into here. Maybe see a reverse back in. We get a new hour and then maybe we might be able to take that. Three minutes left for this hour. Strong rejection. Close above. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see how gold's doing quickly. So it's very corrective. in the way that we're moving. We have dynamic TP has gone blue or green, depending on colour you're using. MACD's coming up to the 0 line. We're still bearish on this hour, so we're still expecting this hour to close. Be interesting to see how the next hour goes. We've obviously got another 2 minutes left on that. Then we'll start a new hourly level and see how we hold that level. This was obviously quite an area price to hold around these levels, so maybe we'll see it come up and see how it reacts before we get another push down. This is a daily level, previous daily level, not the current daily, it's previous daily, where we've seen price react from. And when you see price move like this away, right, where you've had most of the day within this sort of area above, and then we get quite a large movement away, it's where we then need to, obviously we can use every time we get another hour, another 4 hour, we can use those levels, but we just want to then go hunt some previous levels potentially, like this daily one, that where we could see where price might go to and might react from. We still have our hourly below as well. So price might just react, come back, new hour, and then continue on down, we'll see. CL is continuing to go down. Look at that. Crazy trade, Aaron, crazy trade. We like our 1R though. Take our profit. And this is what I mean when you've got a price where it moves away quite aggressively like this, right? Obviously we can go on and look for previous levels, but each hour we can potentially see if we can get an entry, like everything aligned here, and a nice trade out of that hourly box. So we go into our new hour. Let's just look at NQ. 7R. 7R. Yeah, so NQ, now we've got that new hour, right? So we've been holding that previous hour. So we played ping pong between the current hour and the 4 hour. All hour. We closed bullish. Did we close bullish above the open? Yeah, closed bullish. Just. But with a strong wick rejection. We don't need this anymore. We've talked through the formation of a bearish candle. So now we get our new 1 hour, right? So let's see our 1 hour form. We are still bullish, even though price has been really struggling. Dynamic TP is bullish. High time frames bearish though. So if we could see a transition back to bearish, then that would be a payday, which means we could get a nice strong move that we can hold on to some trades for. Right. Last hour for this 4 hour candle. Are we going to flip it? We expect this low to go, right? It's not high probability this is our 4 hour low if we're going to have a bearish candle. When we create liquidity at this time of the day, 94% of the time we actually take that level. With it being the current low, I'm not as keen on when we got current lows. However, 94% probability that that level will go today based on the time that that liquidity was created. Super cool. We are coming below. So we're already below our hourly box and below the previous hour. See how it took an hour? Once that hour closed, that level of resistance then changed. Still becomes a level of importance. That's why the current ones are yellow, because they are become more impactful. Nice reaction from the next level. We're under, dynamic TP under. We've taken our 4 hour low.
Might run without us. Just a little early. Only 3 minutes into a candle. So everything we do is concept around the formation of a candle and the probabilities that align with it to give us an edge when we're entering into our trades. So we know right now within the first 10 minutes that 50% of the time we're going to have a high and low created for a bullish or bearish candle, right? So we know right now we're probably forming that level, right? Bullish candle, bullish low. It's not 100%, but it's high probability. See what gold's done. Has it flipped its level? Okay, so gold's above, right? Come back above. We're now bullish. Algo's still bearish though, so we haven't got the algo on our side. Nice call with that level. The reaction from it. So our previous 4 hours up here. EMAs have gone bullish. Let's see what we can get with gold. CL is below currently, still looking very bearish. Quite a large gap between these two levels, but we have that 94% probability liquidity below. Wonder if NQ might make a run for that. Now we're back under. So we've come above here, right? So we've tried to go bullish, failed, gone back bearish, and come under. So we came down, come above, corrected, failed to continue. We've still got an hour left on this 4 hour. Is this going to be price delivery where we dump? Let's see. Breaking below. CL is still looking very bearish. I think NQ's just gonna, we're not gonna, it's might just go without us. We are 7 minutes in. Sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes you get a new hour when it forms and it just goes. Doesn't give you sort of like this where you get your nice sort of nice formation, right? Bullish, sell, tap back in and then go. Sometimes they just run, which is all right. There we are, coming back now. So let's just talk about, we've added another statistic to the table on the hourly. We've taken the previous hour low. This was the previous hour low. and we've taken the previous hour low. Once we take the previous hour low, it adds probability to the fact that it's more likely for the hour to be bearish. So it's not 100%, it's about 70%, right? 69-70% probability. So already that's given us some bias to the short side. EMAs are bearish, we're below our hourly level, we're below the zero line. Trend AI is bullish. You know, so we've got a couple of mixed signals. We've got a bullish hourly, and the algos are still trying to hold in terms of bullishness. So not as clean. See, NQ has been a bit messy. CL's now flipped this current hour, right? So see how we were holding. We now flip the hour. Let's see. Such a very strong move down, right? Doesn't mean we can't carry on back down. We can come above, come back below, get a correction and carry on. Right. Gold. I'm liking gold for a long. Nice reaction off our level. Plenty of space above. Need to be careful of this level, especially this level. So this is all I'd be looking for if we were going to go anywhere. We are 10 minutes in, so more probable now that we've put in our lows and our highs for our bearish and bullish hours. So if we're going to go bullish, it's high probability this is our low for the hour. We've come above. Algo is now switching, so corrective bearish, meaning that there's a 9% probability for a bearish hour, so more likely bullish. Let's look. So if dynamic TP now can come above, come back above. We are quite far away, so we still expect price to be a little bit corrective. Right now we're inside the previous hour, right? So when we talk about statistics, we've only got a couple of statistics in our favor now. So we've taken the high of the first 10 minutes, meaning, so from a bullish, if you use your hourly, if you use the free indicator on your hourly stats, that's a nice rejection from the current hourly on NQ. So here, if you use your hourly stats, if we look at bullish candles, you can see that there's a 62% probability in the first 10 minutes of an hour that were in the last 242 bullish candles. So once we've taken that high, right, it means this can no longer be a bearish high. So if we look at bearish candles, it means that, okay, we no longer have the 59%. So there's a 20% probability right now of this being a high. So it's more likely that this now becomes a bullish candle. So just some statisticals in our favor. So we're now up at this resistance level. Nice tap back into our hourly. So hourly, we've got both our high and low in the first segment, right? So this could be high probability high, this could be high probability low. If we take this low, obviously then that gives us probability to the bearish side. Because we've already taken the previous hour, that gives us probability to the bearish side as well. We're below, we're bearish. Algo's not on our side though. This is our next level. And we've got high probability liquidity below as well, right? 94% probability that this goes today. This could have been a nice scalp out of here. Tap back in. And then drop. We are expecting price in our 4-hour candle. This is our 4-hour candle in the same way we've just spoke about the hourly, right? 4-hour, you can see the way that we're taking lows. More likely this is our 4-hour high. This is our 4-hour resistance level. You can see how we're rejecting from it in the same way we reject from the hourly. This was our current hour, if you're with me. We were watching that hold. As soon as we created a new hourly candle, we lose that level, and now that becomes our level of resistance. I am waiting for a little bit more edge in my probabilities at the moment for looking for a trade. I do like gold long, which is what I've said to you. What I want to see is in the next 20 minutes, sorry, in the next 7 minutes, we'll have the first 20 minutes done, which means the first 2 segments have finished. If we are above 50%, right, so if we take a box, can't even see that. Wait, we take a box and we put 50% in, right? Which is what these boxes are here. If price closes above the 50% level in the first 20 minutes, then there is a 74% probability that we will go on to take the high of that box. It also adds about a 67% probability that the hour will then still close bullish as well. So this gives us probability to a bullish hour. On gold right now, we're inside the previous hour. So we haven't taken the high. So we don't have that statistic on our side. We are above the box, which gives us, as soon as 20 minutes is up as well, as long as we close above that box, we're then up at the 70% probability, another statistic stacking on. So we're just stacking those probabilities, right? We've taken the high. It's more probable our lows in. We close above the 50%. We're above the open box. All those things give us high probability for a bullish hour. And this is the end of our 4-hour candle. It's the end of our 2-hour candle. And it's the end of our 1-hour candle. This is our 2-hour high. So again, this is a really important level. So if we could see price take that, then that absolutely means that we can expect this to be our low for the next hour as well. We haven't yet taken it. Let's just check on the CFD. Yeah, same thing on the CFD. We've not taken it yet. So futures and the CFD, both the same. Haven't taken that level. Three more minutes. 3 more minutes. CL, dynamic TP's changed. Holding that hourly box long. Don't have a lot of data around it. We're still very bearish, but maybe not looking for a short yet, right? So I think NQ and gold I'm interested in. Like I said, the algo is bullish, so we haven't got the algo on our side. For NQ for a short. And now you can see, look, we're starting to come above that level. So this will be interesting whether we can flip this. I think we just need to get this 4-hour candle out of the way, right? Just being a bit messy. As where with gold, what I like about gold is dynamic TP's changed, right? We do have the algo on our side on the 1 hour. So what it's saying is that it's predicting the probability of being bearish. It's saying that we've gone into a corrective phase of a bearish move. And there's a 9% probability of closing bearish for this sequence, which means there's a high probability of closing bullish, right? So that's a confluence to the upside. So we got that with gold as well. So if we go through our trades, we've got CL, which is holding and looking bullish. However, we haven't got the algo. We've taken the previous hour low. Yeah, looks like we're going to come up and cross, which is going to push price up. So CL more bullish than bearish right now. However, we haven't got loads of confluences in our favor right now. NQ, we're back at that box. If we were going to go bullish, we'd want to see that flip. We've taken the low of the previous hour, meaning again, more likely we're going to be bearish. Our 4 hour is bearish. You know, a lot of mixed signals on NQ at the moment. Like this hour. But, we've got 1 more minute. The 50% area is going to be close, right? Here's the 50%. We got 2 more minutes. NQ closes below that. That's another bearish signal. We are making highs though, right? We reject, make a high, reject, make a high, higher low. If we close above, that gives probability to the upside. So we got mixed signals again on NQ. If we come above, we might come back to the 4 hour open. Let's see where gold is. Gold's holding above the 50%. I'm starting a little bit of a correction. I do prefer gold. Right now, of them, gold's something I'd look to take gold long more than I would the others. There you go. So we finish. We get a bullish box, meaning high probability we're going to take this low. If we take this low, could easily push through and take this 2 hour high, meaning that we can expect a 2 hour bullish. Algo's in line. Our box is a little bit far away, right? So for us to be able to come back and take a trade, it's down here. We could look to take a lazy boy. How much confluences have we got? We've got the box. We're inside. Dynamic TV is below, but it's bullish. So if we got a 50% retracement, we could look at taking a trade out of the 50%. I don't think we're going to get that retracement, but let's just see. When we were looking at levels, right? Look at this level of where we've rejected from here. So this is where kind of I was looking to take a trade out of, potentially look to take it to about here. So I'd like to take this long. What we don't have is great structure for our stop loss. So say for example I was taking this now, you know, I'd have to be using either this or this as my stop, and then I'm only getting just over 1R. We get a buy signal, we take the high, taking it up to here. Maybe we could do that probably. It's just not as tight as stop as I like. Maybe we get the 50% retracement. See, this was perfect, right? Tap back in, everything just aligned nicely for the short. support and level. That needs to go on this candle. Could take a really speculative trade, just a tiny. So taking a trade here, stop above this level, and then looking to come back down to here. It's obviously crazy R and low risk, so you don't even want to be risking $30, $40 on a prop account, because the R would be like 10R, back down to here, 12R. So that could be a speculative trade. Obviously they don't come off all the time. However, the 2 hours being bearish, right? So sometimes they can play out nice, but we're looking at the long. I expect this high to go. There we go. Let me just check the CFD. Still got a little bit more to go. Come on. Come on. There we go. So both have taken the high. That's great. We can expect a bullish hour. So we were looking at this area here, right? Held. And we had a bit of crazy chop, but this being an area potentially that price could reject from. So 50% trade out. I'll be break even on the trade because we've had that rejection. We got close to the level, didn't quite hit. Yeah, tapped out. We can look at taking another trade, because what we might just do now is come back into this previous hour. Here. Previous hour, flip, tap, and then potentially we might see that go. And we don't often leave these untested, which is what gave me more sort of like, is this going to be a runner? Coming up to that zero line now, right? Coming up to that zero line. So like even these have retested the hourly, right? This retested the hourly. This retested the hourly. This one. It was the hourly box, broke under, retested and went. So most of them do. So for us to move away that fast, it was interesting. You can see the MACD is potentially looking like it might want to cross. The algo was corrective bullish as well. So I would just take it. It's like either reduce your stop, right? So we can reduce our stop now. We don't want to see that level go, right? So we could reduce our stop by half. So we're risking less. Go break even. Or yeah, we'll just reduce our risk. That's one of our main goals, is take risk off. So have a quick look at NQ. Looks like we might just pop that now anyway. Hit that level. There's some beautiful rejections out of that hourly level. Nice sell signal now. So that gives us that confirmation, right, that we expect this to be our high for the hour. This is why these levels are so important. You saw it here on this hour. Now you're seeing the same thing again. They are crazy. And you can get nice stops on them as well, right? It's good R. You know, say for example you waited here and you're correcting here. You then see that the histogram goes red. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rejections. And then even if you're just looking for a new lows, 1R. And then if we're trying to come back down to this level, potentially you could partials and take furthers. But yeah, there was a nice trade out there anyway. I'd like to see it come down now to here. See how we're getting on gold. So we're coming back to that level. We want to see dynamic TP cross that 0 line. Let's just have a look at the size of where we are on volume. So see how volume has been increasing. It's either going to have to be very aggressive on the way back down. When you get close to your TP like this, this is where you want to take risk off, because you've got that close to it in target. You either want to go break even or reduce, at least reduce your risk. Don't want to let it come all the way back on you, right, and take you out for a full loss. So some levels that we expect, because we've taken this, we expect this to be our low for the next 2 hours. We expect this to be our low for the hourly. Here. We're 32 minutes in, so I wouldn't want to be taking a lazy boy trade. I like to take them between 20 past and half past. I want to see this come back above now. Or do the opposite. Come on. So if you didn't go break even at this point, even you wouldn't be waiting for it to go break even if you wanted to get out. You just get out now. Or obviously if you're happy to take half. So we had our stop originally at here, right below this level. We reduced it. So either you can leave it at that level. Look for us to flip now. Either way. It got pretty close. Me personally, I'm out. Obviously, I'd break even on that trade. So we have a break even. Get our BE. Probably will carry on up, but doesn't matter. Let's have a look at NQ and CL. So if we're going to have a bearish hour, we expect that low to go here. But we want to see price go the other way as well. So right now, we just got this pullback. CL's correcting nicely. Further away from that zero line, right, than what gold is. I wonder what gold's... We're getting so close. Just whether we're going to see it push through or it's going to fail. We've got an 81% probability. Maybe we get a new hour, right? And then we can take a trade out of that hourly box, flip short, and come for these lows. Let's see. But we're not looking for that for this hour, because right now there's been too many bullish signals for this hour. We just missed our target, and we got break even. Previous trade was fine. Maybe we're going to come back and test this hourly box now, which we didn't. And Q's back at the hourly box. So our 4 hour has got its highest probability low. So this low is in the last half an hour of the 4 hour candle. I think it's about 36–40% probability for the 4 hour. So structurally, this 4 hour is fine. Nice rejections. Could look at don't even have to take the low. We could even just come down. waiting for some more confirmation. One, two, three. Let's see how this one reacts. Just coming above where we were failing here. We're just closing above. That's quite a strong bullish close and dynamic to piece change, so no trade. So you see this, once the fast moving MACD closes above the 0 line, that can have a high probability of dragging the slow over. So it's a shame that dynamic TP's changed, because this would have been, that's a nice rejection, right? Oh, there we go. I want to see that red. Come on. Oh. Okay, that's good. So here, so if we went for another low, even just to this one, we get 1.25. Yeah, I just don't like it because flipping bullish. Even though these are nice rejections, it's just this giving us a little warning. Yeah, see gold struggling with that level now. Previous hour. Starting to come under the 0 line. This is failing to come above. We wanted to see that come over. So we're not expecting this low to go this hour, but if we're going to have a bullish hour, a strong one, we would expect this high to go. But you can see the rejections from this previous level. We just came above, weren't able to hold it, and now we're rejecting from it. So I'd expect us to come visit the current hour. See, I was well below. D. Right, guys, I think for today, not sure what else I'm going to take. Obviously, we've had some good trades in the previous hour. CL was good. I think the next hour, we've got a new 4 hour. We've got a new 2 and a new 1. Could bring some really good opportunities because obviously this 4 hour level on NQ moves. Right. And I think with that then moving, we could see a new 4 hour, and then maybe NQ starts looking a little bit more bullish, holds it, and then we might see liquidity taken above, right? But we've got 2 high probability levels. Well, there's a few up here, but reasons for price to go up. Plus, dynamic TP, Trend AI is bullish on NQ. It's the higher time frame, so And the algos have still been holding bullish, even though we've been pulling down. So, you know, we play with what price is doing, but there are signals there that the NQ might flip bullish. But we go with what's happening and with our hourly candles. So we had our win this morning. We pulled out that level from the daily. You can always rewatch and see how we pulled out that level. We had a nice rejection. Yeah. Confirmation on this candle. Everything was bearish. We'd already taken the previous low. Super confident. We had high probability liquidity below. So we had about 1.3, 1.6 R trade to there. And then obviously we were looking at if we were going to trail it or if we were going to take partials. This is where we would then take the next profit. As you can see, we perfectly tap that level and react from it. And that is all with our alpha boxes. So if you are going to join the free, get your free indicator, the free system, I'll be finishing the course today. Yeah, me too, Aaron. I'm going to be taking that trade and be done. I've got work to do. I've got some recordings to get done. If you want to get access to this, the link is in the comment. Let me just put it on again. So this is free, and using that support and resistance levels that we've created, they're unique to us. And I'll be doing a free course video with that as well, and we'll be doing live educational during that time as well. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Have a great weekend. Aaron, take care of yourself, mate. Thank you, everybody else. Not sure who's still here. I know Peter left. Plus Ultra, hope you're well if you're still here. Other than that, guys, see you in the Discord. Or otherwise, have a great weekend.